Hello, everybody. It's really good to be with you. Today, I want to talk to you about something I run across in awakening sessions, and once in a while, even in a clarity session, or in a session that someone has with me who has had an awakening experience, but doesn't have much in the way of clarity, and comes to me, and we work it out. So, the problem is with overwanting, is that there are people who want this awakening so badly, and I did. I'm just as guilty as anybody. I wanted it a whole lot, and I wanted it at more than anything. And and it came, so I'm okay with that. But I might have held myself at bay for several years. I can't, this is the only way it could have turned out. But just it might keep you from keeping yourself at bay for several years. So this will be worth tuning in for. The overwanting means that we want this thing so badly that we're going to get it even if it kills us. Well, the problem is that the killing of the ego is not what we're actually after. The confronting the ego is not exactly what we're after. What we're really after is seeing that those things may be appearances within relativity, but they don't have anything to do with truth. And you are truth, and all that you do has to do with truth. Makes sense. So this overwanting, you just keep yourself from relaxing. You cannot tense your way into awakening. It just can't happen. You can't. Well, you can do that for 1,000 years and you're never going to wake up. In the sense that I got to get it, I've got to get it, I've got to get it, I've got to get it. It becomes a demand that I've got to get it. And then if we're not very careful, and most of the times we're not, I got to get it, I got to get it, I got to get it if it kills me. And I know pretty much what it's going to be like. And that's the biggest screw up of all, is when we're not awake, we get these ideas that we have some idea of what it will be like once we are awakened. But since we don't even know who we're talking about at that stage, I can promise you that you can't know about it ahead of time. It's not like anything you ever thought about. It's because it's not about thought. It's not about thought at all. It's not about I got to get my thinking straight. No, no, no. What you've got to do is to rise above, really not overcome, but rise above the thinking. Rise above the thinking and see that thinking is happening, but notice that it's not yours. And this thing that wants to wake up so very badly, can you locate that? Can you locate it? Can you find it? Can you put your finger on it? What is it that wants to wake up so bad? And the most common answer is going to be, I do. And then my response is going to be, so who is this I of which you speak? Can you find them? Can you put your finger on them? Are they locatable? And you can almost see the mind working. Don't confuse me with the truth, right? Don't confuse me with the truth. I'm busy over here. And that's all I can do is screw with the mind. People pay me to screw with their minds, and then sometimes they get a little offended when I screw with their minds, when I do exactly what they asked me to do. But it's not in the way that they expected. It's not unfolding as per my script, because that's what we got. We got a little script, and we want this thing, and we want it to be hopefully just like this, if not very similar to this. But this thing that's off the wall, oh God, no, that can't be it. But that thing that's off the wall, that is it. because you have to be willing and open. And what am I talking to? Just talking to about an attitude of willingness that no one's going to have over there. But it doesn't mean that that willingness, willingness to accept whatever it is, however it comes, because it doesn't come as we expect. It doesn't even come when we expect, because you can't expect it. You really cannot. I mean, I had been expecting to wake up for years. And I noticed it never happened. I mean, I was going to wake up soon. A week later, I'm going to wake up soon. A year later, I was going to wake up really soon. 5 years later, I'm going to wake up soon. How long can we stretch soon? I know people who, I swear to God, have been they've been clients of mine who were studying for and meditating for 30, 40 years. And I could ask, and I said, so you feel like you have some clarity now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to wake up real soon. And then I ask a deadly question. So let me ask you this. Just be honest with me, if you would. How long have you had the feeling that you were going to wake up soon? Well, ever since I was 18. And how are you now? 62. 62. But it feels like it's right around the corner. The problem with that, of course, is that we just can't get to the corner. We can't get to the corner because the corner is not even there. There's no corner. There's no, and there's no test. I liked what one of my clients told me this week, and a very awakened being in the Midwest. And she said to me, I think she's in the Midwest. I can't remember. I always say that. I can't remember now if she's in the Midwest or not. But Barbara, I'm pretending you're in the Midwest for now. Anyway, so, and Barb said to me, she said, you know what's been very, very helpful to me? And I said, what? She said, the recognition that it's not a battle. The recognition that it's not a battle. You don't battle your way into enlightenment, nor do you battle your way into clarity. If you're battling, you're not close. If you're grunting and straining and pushing this and trying to suck this thing in and all this and that and the other and trying to block these damn thoughts, I just can't. I keep thinking these things. They keep coming in, every time I sit down and meditate, and what it comes up, comes in, and I have to ask myself, who is it that's meditating? Well, number one, who gives a shit? Pardon my French, ladies and gentlemen. But we make ourselves so damn self-important. We really do. And we make ourselves so important that what we really think about awakening is that being awake depends upon the unit's opinion. I got an empty basket and I got a basket full of opinions. They're going to weigh exactly the same. And you can buy just as much with them as you with each, and they're just alike. Sorry, folks, I don't do this, and the words just come as they do, or they don't come as they do, but the mouth keeps moving. Fred Davis wanted to wake up very badly a long time ago. I can remember it. I don't have any ownership of it because there's no Fred Davis, but I can certainly see that there was a belief in a Fred Davis, and that believed in Fred Davis wanted to wake up very, very badly. Number one, because he was quite clear on the fact that he was not awake. That was my core assumption, was that I was not awake and that I should be. See? So how is this for you? Well, this is fine, or actually I've got quite a bit of few complaints about it, but it will be fine once I wake up. Now, you may find that that's sort of a split truth, but if you think all your problems are going away, they're not. There was some disappointment here when awakening occurred. because the problems didn't go away. The bit of grace I got was noticing that, oh, there are Freds. And I can see very clearly that there is no Fred, and that I'm not a Fred. So it is an imaginary characters, imaginary problems in an imaginary world. The same as bad fortune, good fortune. It's in an imaginary world. This, it's an imaginary world. Whose imagination is, whatever you call that thing. You know, if you feel like God is the top deity, then it's God, or, you know, and if it's Brahma, it's Brahma, right? And if it's some Indian saint or some Tibetan saint, or, you know, some other saint from somewhere else, European saints, right? Like St. Francis. That's a saint that I very much admire. I've got a little statue of him out in the yard. He's worse for the weather, but you can still tell it's St. Francis. And he doesn't know what he looks like, so he's perfectly content to be out there as is. Because see, that's why we get this world. We get this world as is. We should have to sign something before we take on consciousness, if that were possible, that says, I am accepting the world as is. There's no take backs, right? I used to do this in the car business. Because there had been so many tricks and this and that and the other pulled for so many decades that we had an as is statement that you had to sign. You got a copy, we got a copy. And it said beyond that I have not been promised anything other than what I'm getting. That this car is coming as is. And then if there was a rider to that, that'd be okay, you know, but they have ordered floor mats, right? And you know, we have those little as is, or those big as is statements. There's one on every used car window, or on the, you know, the one of the windows of a used car will always have that as is statement. And if it's, you know, if it's kosher, if it doesn't have that on it, beware. Right? Maybe they just do it in the paperwork, but just make sure you get that. And I hope you got the one from God about this world, because you only get it as is. We are so afraid of letting what is develop, form itself, become whatever, unmanaged. I say, we've been thinking, I thought I was the manager of this thing. Man, I know now I'm not the manager, and I don't want to be a manager, and I can't be a manager because there's not actually an inhabitant to this body. Sure looks like it, doesn't it? Sure looks like it. Looks like it's aging too. Hair's gotten thin, gotten gray. Joints are creaky, all this kind of stuff. Feels like I've aged. But I haven't, because I'm not this body. This body is not me. I am not this body, and you aren't that one. You are not that body. And I am talking to you now. I'm not talking to that body. In other words, I'm talking directly to myself. And self, pull it together over there. The handwriting's on the wall. You're tired of the game through that unit. I'm pretty sure of that. I can't be positive that's right now, but it sure probably is right now, because most are. And how do I know that? Because you're sitting in front of this unit. You're listening to this video. You're reading his books. You're watching his other videos, whatever it is. Listening to the podcast. If you're taking this teaching in, you're doing very well. It's a shame that not more people see this thing, but they're not supposed to. Because, you know, lots of the people who hear this, they don't want to really wake up. The ones who do want to too badly. Most, or some. No, it's not really most. But some of you overwant this thing. I want it so badly, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to tense my way into it. I'm going to achieve it if it kills me. Well, it has to kill you. If it doesn't kill you, it's not enlightenment. Somebody asked me the other day something about birth and death. Well, I said, well, I was born in 1952 and I died in 2006. That's right. That's what they should really put that on my tombstone. Fred Davis, 2006 dash. No, I mean 1952 dash 2006. So what is that? That's 44, 40, 44, 50. God, I can't add right now. I'm sorry, but it's around 50 years. No pressure there, Fred. I don't do these videos. I don't really, you know, I hope you get this just because there's compassion for whatever it is that's watching this, because whatever that is that's watching this is me. I'm talking to myself. You're not that body. You're not this one either. But we are the same thing. We work through bodies, and there's only one of us. We're just saying we, just as a convenience of language. But but as usual with the convenience of language, it is also it creates the idea. It creates imaginary beings. You know, creates imaginary beings, imaginary circumstances. This is a dream, and it's not your dream. You're that, and you're dreaming that you're this. And on one level, that's true within relativity, but relativity is the dream. So I'm dreaming that I'm having a really good dream. And when I wake up, oh, I hope I brought some of that back with me, whatever that was that made me so happy, the girl or the money or the whatever it was, and the ability to fly, whatever it was. I hope I brought that back with me. I opened my eyes and I don't have any of that. There's a girl there, but Betsy, and then I have a bad dream. And I wake up and I think that I've had something terrible happen, that I've done something terrible. There's something awful going on. I wake up. It's not true. Why? It's a dream. But there's a sense of me in the dream, yes, and there's a sense of you in this dream too. We're just moving from dream to dream. Did you think that this was actually reality? It's relative reality. Yes, we can all agree on that. We can, you know, I'm not gonna really get into that. I am very fond of relativity, as amazing as that may seem, considering how much suffering was done here in relativity, but I don't suffer in relativity anymore. Why would I not be a fan? Why do I not suffer in relativity? Because it's not real. It's just a dream. It's my dream. But when I say that, I ain't talking about this. And you can say it's your dream, and you'll be right. And you can say that this is part of you, and you'll be right. And this, you know, this oneness that we come to find, it's fantastic. You see that there's just oneness. There's nothing outside of this oneness. There's nothing, there's no border to this oneness. There's no center to this oneness. There's only oneness. There's not anything above it, not anything below it, not anything to the left of it, not anything to the right of it. There's just oneness. And then one day we find out, oh, not even that. Like I said at the last video, but it's worth repeating, that oneness is noneness in drag. Noneness wants to get all gussied up and go out on the town. And so it dreams that it's one of these. And it dresses up and goes out on the town. There's that experience very fully. And this being will think it's this being's experience, but it's not. This being is being experienced. This is a sensing mechanism for that. What is that? Oh, guess anybody's guess. Right? Nobody can guess. The difference is I don't pretend to guess the way that I used to pretend that I knew all about enlightenment when I didn't know a damn thing. Now I know enough to know that I don't know a damn thing. But I can tell you this, whatever that is, you cannot not be it. This can't exist without you, but this doesn't hold a candle to you. It doesn't matter. You don't need this. Try it right now. Close your eyes for just a minute. Imagine that the world has just vanished. Are you still here? Or did you go along with the vanishing planet? Did you vanish as well? Seems that the body would vanish, doesn't it? But you are not the body. Aren't you still here? Isn't this attention? Isn't this noticing still here? Can you remember a time when it wasn't here? No, because you can't remember a time when there was no sense of being. That's why you can't remember deep dreamless sleep. There's nobody there to remember it. There's nothing happening in deep dreamless sleep. Well, I say there's nothing happening. There's no one to report it. I can guarantee you that. Therefore, and nothing can happen as far as I know in the absence of being, in the absence of observing whatever that is, it's observing. Now, I told you a lot. Be okay with me if you listen to this video again. You might want to park this one and listen to this one a couple of times. I don't think it's going to be that long. It's not going to be any longer than this, I can tell you. I love you very much. Thank you.